vitamin C,
Okay.
sea moss, burdock root, and bladderwrack, and then ashwagandha.
Who are these countries?
And here's a cough
Is it
drop.
gonna make me high?
Nope.
No,
Okay,
babe.
good.
Just some vitamins.
Are you
I'm so ready. I was just looking at our views.
okay?
Could be better.
Yeah, we want more viewers. Hello, and welcome to Did You Mean to Say That, the podcast where we did not mean to say that. I'm your co-host, Erin.
And I'm your co-host, Bobby.
We were supposed to have an episode out yesterday, 2 days ago, if you're seeing this, and I had a little mental breakdown, which was kind of a slay. I haven't had one of those in a while. I'm not much of a crier.
Are we gonna
I
talk
can't
about
cry at
it?
all. No, it's so boring. It's about work and shit.
Got
Just
it.
Like ADHD.
So we did not film.
So we didn't film on Monday when we were supposed to. So we're here now. Sorry for the delay in episode, but sometimes your editor has a little mentee bee. So
And what can you do?
not much. Well, you can film on Wednesday and then release it on Thursday.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing. We have Tyler and Hannah in the studio today.
Hello.
Hannah's been dying to tell some crazy story for weeks now. So.
This is the episode of crazy stories.
Yeah. Oh my God. I have some.
We all have multiple stories. Well, I don't know. Tyler's just here to spectate and swim.
Tyler's first podcast.
Tyler, baby's first podcast.
Also, I'm sick, so sorry that it sounds like.
Yeah, Bobby's sick. So sorry. It sounds like he has a dick in his nose, I think is what he just said.
Yeah.
While we were setting up. So stop touching your hair.
Are you talking to yourself?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't even fucking know. Let's just get into it, bro. So we have to talk about what's crazy. What's crazy is that our last filming happened hours before Nicki Minaj's song came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So tired, old, but we
Just
didn't
like the
even
song.
get. But what's the good part about it is that she had tweeted so many of the lyrics and said them on live that we already talked about most of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Before the song even came out, and we didn't even know that was happening.
The song sucked, and
It's so bad.
it's falling off the charts. Meanwhile, Megan is number one.
Hiss, baby.
I think
Stream Hiss.
It's her first solo number one on Billboard.
I think the conversation has been beaten to death. We don't need to talk about Nicki Minaj ever again. We don't need to give her a platform.
But do we need to talk about Drake?
Well, we need to talk about the Grammys because it would have been great if this episode came out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But we still have a few things to say. Do we?
Yeah. I mean, we have to do justice to Lana Del Rey, first of all.
Well, first of all,
Get it together.
we need to
bitch.
talk about.
Okay, well, first of all, what were you going to say?
The carpet, the outfits were so bad. They were so boring. I've never seen a worse red carpet. My best dress was Brandy Carlisle in a suit. It was
Lana looked good, in my opinion. Okay, that's my fucking opinion.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
She looked amazing from the waist up. I'll say that. The length of the dress and the shoes should have been an arrestable offense.
Okay.
Worst dress of the night was Lauren Daigle. And I know you don't necessarily know who that is, but it's the girl that looked like she was in all that cloth with all those beaded bracelets on her arm.
Oh,
The
the
Christian
Christian
girl?
girl?
Christian girl.
Couldn't give a fuck
Worst
less.
dress of the night.
Yeah, she looked like she transported here from literally 2008. That was
I thought Olivia
god
looked
awful.
good.
She looked pretty. There was nothing, but the best literal outfit of the entire night was Olivia's performance outfit. Her dress.
The red dress.
Gagged me.
Yeah,
And then SZA's acceptance speech outfit, after she performed and she changed and she had on that bodycon, ooh, she looked so good. And I'll say, I think Lizzo looked really pretty,
She did.
but I didn't know she was allowed out of the house.
Me neither. Maybe they were trying to soft launch her back into the public eye.
For sure, because they don't care
Right.
what she did.
Oh, you know who actually looked really, really good?
Who?
Halle Bailey, of course.
I never even saw her.
Yeah.
Is she still pregnant?
No, she had a baby.
They fully have a
But
kid.
she looked amazing.
Really?
Yes. She was pregnant the whole time.
And you guys know I
surprise.
love her.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Dua Lipa
Yeah.
looked okay.
Yeah, she looked good.
She looked pretty.
I don't like the red hair, I'm sorry.
Doja Cat looked awful, as always.
Yep.
Okay, wait. I didn't want to talk about Doja Cat.
I don't like her.
Bitch, you did all that. You had your areolas out on national television and no one's talking about it.
What?
Like, you got no attention for that. I don't know. You did all
That's right here,
that
look.
for some fucking attention. Like, her areolas were, like, part of her outfit. And I have not seen one person speak about it. Anyway, yeah, slay Taylor for announcing new album, but not slay for winning awards, because I don't think... Here's my thing about this.
She did not deserve Album of the Year.
I think that Taylor Swift deserved Grammys for this year. Like, if they had a most influential or, like, impact award, sure, give her the award. But Midnight's, and she won for Antihero?
No, she won Pop Vocal,
Vocal
Album
for-
Midnights.
The
Which-
least vocally dynamic album I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Except for, like, Labyrinth. Like, way to get into a falsetto, girl. I don't know. Like,
Maybe she didn't not deserve Album of the Year because it
She
was
didn't.
the Album of the Year, but like
it wasn't. It was the album of the year for us. It was the album of the year for no one else. Like, and that's going to happen every time because she has Swifties. But, like, SZA's
Swifties
album
aren't
was so
voting
much
on
more
it.
impactful, and
Yeah.
Lana's album was so much better.
yeah.
I just feel like Lana Del Rey.
This is not a safe pace.
It's the same thing every time.
It's really not.
I'm so sorry.
This is not a safe space for that.
I think that album was so, and at least I think A&W should have won an award. Like, I think that's crazy.
I agree.
But I'm so glad Miley won. Like, I'm so happy.
Miley
for her.
was my like star of the night.
She was the star of the night. I have her performance on an endless loop in my
I
head.
watched it 3 times.
I didn't want to leave you, but I had to. I didn't want to fight, but we
we
did.
did.
And then I remembered
I just won my first Grammy.
It's and she looked so good. And then her little like Tina Turner-esque end of the song. Oh, it was so good.
With the hair.
The hair.
It grew on me, so sorry.
I hated it until she performed,
I
and then it
agree.
made sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't think she needed to do
I
it all
understand
night.
what she was going for, but I feel like her hairstylist did her dirty.
I didn't like the. Yeah,
I
it
think
just.
everybody's hairstylist did them dirty.
She had a great plan and not great execution. You want to talk about hairstyles doing
Taylor
them dirty?
Swift's hair was
Taylor.
so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh my god.
I love the tweet that was like, "This is the I got bored in class look." Like,
Yeah.
literally just like
Did not brush it.
Shut the
I
fuck
wouldn't say.
it
The random
was
braid.
awful. Why did what?
So I'm in a lot of Reddit, speaking of Taylor Swift, and there's a Reddit group called Swiftie Neutral, which is like a balance between people who hate her and people who are like gonna lick her ass for everything. And it's people like me who are like rational about it.
Yeah.
And people were hating that she announced the album, which like
I don't get that part.
I don't
People are calling her like a narcissist, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that part makes no sense.
well, I think she
Okay.
is a narcissist, baby.
sure she is, but like
But,
because of
I
that,
I was excited that she announced the album.
Why wouldn't she?
where
Yeah.
else would she do it? What a
Right.
great time. And like Swifties lived for that. Like it was like we were all watching like
We were gagged.
yeah, like
But
I was literally leaned over.
then
my
when
desk.
she won Album of the Year, she like dragged Lana on stage, which everyone's talking about,
Yeah.
and Lana posted a video of it with a song of her Summertime Sadness remix that won a Grammy, but not because of her.
so she didn't win a Grammy.
She didn't
for
win a
it, which
Grammy
is
for it.
crazy.
And when I saw her live the first time, she said,
electronic music should be banned.
this is like the worst remix I've ever heard, and it's got sent to radio. It's my only song that's ever been on the radio, so that sucks. Hates the song. Posted the clip of Taylor dragging her on stage with that. Then the last photo in the photo dump was her holding a gun.
Who knows what that means? But you know what's crazy that actually no one's talking about is Taylor standing up singing every word to Vampire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I'm on Swiftie Twitter and like no one's brought it up
But is it about her?
I saw it all over mine.
I don't think Vampire is about her, but
at all. It's about Zach Bia.
I think she did that. I think Olivia doesn't give a fuck that she did that. She's probably
For
like,
sure.
right, bitch.
Exactly. That's how I felt like she felt about it. But I need to know so bad. It keeps me up at night. Like what happened there? What's the correspondence
Well, they
between
didn't talk to
them?
each
What's
other
the
or get
NDA?
any pictures together.
I know. But I still need to know.
Yeah. Okay. So
So-
that was basically the Grammys.
Demi Lovato
Uh-oh.
sang her hit song Heart Attack. You know the one.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay, but no.
At the American Heart Association fundraiser event.
But I saw a thing that was like they cut out the whole speech and she was saying like all this nice
Don't
stuff.
care about the speech. That's actually the funniest thing anyone could ever possibly do. You're at the American Heart Association fundraiser event and you sing your hit song, Heart Attack.
That's like when Kesha sang Die Young the day after that elementary school shooting.
No!
And she like got on Twitter to say my label forced me to sing it. I literally did not want to. Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. I think I'll have a heart
fucked
attack.
up.
I love Heart Attack as
Me
a song.
too. I just think that's one of the funniest things I've ever read in my
She was, like,
life.
serenading people who are like survivors of like,
Uh-huh.
like she was like holding people.
She said if I ever did that, I think I'd have a heart attack. But she's talking about like,
Falling in love, letting a man in.
like, oh my God.
God.
Speaking of music, though, I really do want to talk about this because I think it is so interesting and kind of insane. Universal Music Group pulling all their songs from TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just do that. I think it's gonna go away. I think that TikTok
Well,
can't
the artists are
survive
pissed.
without those songs, and I think that artists can't survive now without being on TikTok because they've all structured their like marketing and their production and their promotion to TikTok.
Which I hate.
They have it planned out probably for the next fucking year what they're gonna do on fucking TikTok.
Right.
And then now they can't use any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Similarly though, like TikTok is all about the sounds. Like what is it gonna like what's Charli D'Amelio gonna be dancing to?
I don't give a fuck what
Yeah,
she's
I
dancing
love
She's
to.
like the number one artist on the platform. Like they
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do? Fucking twerk to clips of Dr. Phil talking or something?
Well, there's other labels.
Shut the hell up, bitch.
I will say there's like, I've noticed it from a lot of like, because I follow a lot of dancers on TikTok, famously obsessed with dancers, went to Dancing with the Stars live last night, whatever. But,
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Literally would die for them, but I've seen them be able to find remixes of songs.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just crazy and it's gonna be crazy.
It
I
is.
feel like they're just trying to. Prove
There's only 3 music groups though, right? There's like the big 3. It's like Sony, Universal, and
Capitol.
exactly.
Wow.
And most people are on Universal, so
Yeah.
for all the umbrella companies.
But yeah, it's got like
I
Drake,
famously
Ariana, The
went to
Weeknd,
music
Nicki.
management school and we learned all about that, and I can't remember any of it.
Slay.
Yeah, I was high on opiates.
Speaking of being high on opiates.
Oh my god, I have 2. I should have been when I did what I did. Okay,
You
so
do.
Hannah is gonna tell her story. We just like, I don't even know how to do this because like we all have crazy stories that have absolutely nothing to do with each other and we all need to tell them. So like,
Here's the deal. Aaron, were you not like a Britney Spears girly growing up? I didn't think so. It just occurred to me the other day, like, what the fuck does Aaron know about Britney Spears? And that
All of it.
sucks.
like I'm familiar. What more is there to
Then, like,
know?
what are we doing here? I don't know. She was like my idol, my queen.
Well, what do you mean, what are we doing here?
Just like I don't know about all this anymore.
The gay gasp.
I just don't really get it.
I was just like listening to all of her deep cuts that I know every word of, and I was like, there's no way Aaron doesn't know these songs. And then I was like, she's never talked about it. You were such an
Bitch,
NSYNC girly.
We've literally been to Britney Spears night at Good Judy's in which I sang every fucking word with you. We have talked about her extensively. We've had like a whole podcast about her before. I'm familiar with the lore. I was free Britney till it's backwards always. Like we talked about that so much. But to your point, yes, I was an NSYNC girly, so it's been a little tough lately. Because my idol growing up, like I would literally write I heart JT like in my fucking diary. Like
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be with him.
Yeah.
I think he's boring now.
Well, yeah, he's so boring now, but that doesn't make the 2020 Experience not one of the greatest albums of all time.
Did you see him dancing?
Is it bad? Because he's old.
No, like
He used to be
just,
so
like,
good at it.
His most recent tour is just very
Interesting.
lackluster.
Oh, I bet. Well, he's like fucking 60 or some shit.
No, he's
No,
like 40.
he's
Whatever
like-
he
yeah,
He's like 50.
So is
No, he's
Beyonce.
not.
I'm gonna say 43.
I was just about to say 43. That's crazy.
That is old.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry. I don't know. You want me to go back in time and like love
It's
her?
just disappointing, but no, it's fine.
It's not my fault. I was a
I know.
child.
You know what? We forgive and we forget, and that's what we do on this podcast.
Yeah, I did have like her first album, Christina Aguilera's first album, and NSYNC's first album, like in rotation when I was 6, mind you. Should I just get into my first story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll just go 1-1-1.
Sure.
Okay. Mine has to be all in one, though.
Oh, because yours are related?
Yeah.
Mine's so unrelated. So I'll tell mine first.
Go ahead.
So this is actually my Did You Mean to Say That of the week.
Okay.
I have an ex who's my best ex. We're bestie girls. We never speak. But, you know, we're like friends and we're friends afterwards because we dated in like high school and it wasn't that serious. Well, it was to me, and we stay in touch. We're friends, like I said, whatever. He texted me the other day about something and I can't explain why I asked him if he has a mustache, but believe me when I say that it was completely related to what we were talking about. And I was like, but do you still have a mustache? And he said, yeah. And I said, prove it.
With an emoji.
No, I didn't.
You put a mustache emoji at one point.
No.
He did?
I said, prove it. And he sent the emoji with the mustache. And I just sent the drums emoji. And then I clarified like 5 minutes later, like the joke one where you would be like, but shh. And I was just like, God, like, why did I say any of those things? Like, I don't even know. I'm so weird, right?
Yeah.
And then he doesn't use social media. And sometimes you just want to check in. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to see what, like, anyone's up to, really. I don't know too many people who, like, aren't on social media. I feel, like, deprived when someone isn't. I'm like, what do they look like? What are they up to? Like, what's going on? So I was just like, God, I would, like, love to see just anything about him or his girlfriend. Like, I'm just so curious. I've never seen her Instagram, whatever. I might have to cut this, actually. But I'll just tell you, and I'll see later in editing if I like it. So I remember that I met them all one time at once, and she has a friend who I knew as soon as I saw him. And he's, like, gay. That's really it. Like, that's how I knew him from some type of queer spaces. Like, I've definitely seen him around. What?
Nothing.
We're being homophobic.
No, I
this
hate
year?
gay people.
You hate gay people?
Honestly.
Literally.
I hate
So
queer spaces.
I hate lesbians. So I remember this guy, and I just start looking around on Instagram, like, for him through mutuals. I end up finding him, but he's private and he has no profile picture. But I knew it was him, and I requested to add him for some reason. I don't know why. But I didn't think anything of it when I did it. And then he accepted. And then I started freaking out. And I was like, wait, like, why did I do that? That's crazy. Like, we don't know each other. We have a ton of mutuals, though, I will say.
So it could just be like, oh, this is one of those weird people that adds their mutuals.
Maybe. Or just like, but he literally doesn't have a profile picture and is private. So, like, how is he even, he's gonna know that I'm that guy's ex. Like, his best friend's boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. So I'm feeling really weird about it.
Right.
But now I follow him on Instagram, and sure enough, he did post a photo of them. They are still together.
Right.
Like, his last post is them all together. So, which is fine. I was just genuinely curious, like, what the vibes was. I just wish I didn't do that.
Can you cut this? What's your ex's is? Got it. Thank you.
We used to love him.
I know. Well, me too.
Yeah. We have to cut, obviously, all of this.
Yeah,
but
100%.
he would be there, and he's so hot.
But that was my Did You Mean to Say That of the week. Like, girl, did you mean to do that? But I actually forgot about it until I just was reading it to tell you. So I think it's fine.
I think it's fine, too.
And it just doesn't mean anything. Like, it was just me being nosy.
And weird.
Yeah, weird. So, yep.
It happens.
Yeah. Speaking of our exes, you and Levi broke up after your trip to Nashville.
No, we did not. We were We
So
had
close though.
no, we
just
had
kidding.
some hiccups in the
along the
room.
way.
So I went to Nashville with Levi's family to celebrate his cousin's 21st birthday.
Right.
And I just want to start off by saying it was so fun.
Yeah.
Love his fam. Good times.
Yeah.
But there's a few things that we had to address.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, the first night was totally fun. We had bottle service at Dirk Bentley's bar. There was a DJ.
Bobby texted me. I was so excited.
Something
and
I
so
never
jealous.
thought I'd hear anyone
Just like
say.
dancing the night away. It was so fun. The second day, we're like day drinking. So like everyone's a little turnt the whole day.
Yeah.
And we're at Tootsie's, which Hannah loves. You guys know how much I have to pee all the time.
Yeah. Famously.
Well, he was like making fun of me about it in front of his family, and I got really sensitive and mad.
Bobby.
Because like,
No, don't.
don't embarrass me. Like I can't help that I have to pee all the time.
There's nothing embarrassing about having to pee. We make jokes about it all the time. Let him make jokes about it.
But like to his family, I didn't appreciate it. Because like, I don't know. It was just embarrassing.
I think you should not be embarrassed by it.
Well, this is like the least worst of the whole stories. So
I'm just saying, going forward for your own mental health, you should like figure out how to not be embarrassed by it, because it's just like
I'm not embarrassed of it in general. I was embarrassed that he was making fun of me to his family about it.
I think there's a difference between making fun of you and like lovingly teasing you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't loving. Well, it was, but I didn't take it that way. But we already discussed it, and it's fine. The second thing, so that night, we go back to our Airbnb to all get ready to go out again. And we have to all wear pink wigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I put on my pink wig.
Wigging out for her 21st.
We were wigging out. And boy, was I. Because we put on our wigs, and I had like 5 o'clock shadow and like facial hair. And I was like, oh, I need to shave. Like, I want to look like cute, not like serious black. I didn't bring my
serious black.
So
Got it.
I didn't bring my razor, so I was like, Levi, can I borrow your razor? This man hands me just a razor blade. And he's like, that's how I've been shaving. I lost the stick. Like, I've just been...
I thought you meant like an actual like blade, like how barbers do it. And I was like, he's crazy for that.
No, just like...
Just the top of a razor.
Just the top of a razor. And I'm like, you're weird for that. Whatever. I'm going to shave. Well, because I'm using a razor blade,
Yeah.
I cut myself everywhere.
Of
and I'm
course.
bleeding out. Like,
Yeah.
almost needed medical attention.
Yeah.
And so I'm like getting like pissy because I'm like,
Get him a stick. What the fuck?
I'll get him a stick. I don't know.
I'm concerned.
And so I'm like getting pissy because we like have to leave, and I'm like bleeding everywhere, and I only shaved like half my face. I'm like, this just is like so annoying. So then I hear him talking to his aunt or cousin. Their whole family tree is confusing to me. So, but saying like, yeah, he's frustrated with me because of he cut his face shaving. And I hear her go, like, that's your fault. And I was just like embarrassed again. Me drunk, obviously. And I'm just like, this is so embarrassing. Like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we get over it. I'm like, I'm just going to like be a good sport about my face being half shaved and cut everywhere.
Hacked up.
So we go out, and it's like not his fault, I guess, but also like kind of his fault. Because like who
Literally, how is that his fault at all that you forgot your razor and needed to shave?
It's not. But like who shaves with just the blade?
No one, but you should have brought
does.
your razor. And he needs to get a stick separately. Like, these are two separate things.
For sure. So I'm like, I'm going to chill out and like just make it a good night. So we go out.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you going to discuss the wigs?
No.
Oh.
We just all wore pink wigs, and like the first one they gave me was an afro. So I did not wear that.
So then you make it a great night.
We make it a great night, but like we're both drunk, and he was just being a little like, we were beefing, but not like beefing. We were just like bickering and like not
Drunk.
vibing. But then we got over that, of course. And then we're at this karaoke bar. He sings Picture to Burn. Killed
Period.
it. He thinks he flopped, but I think he killed it.
Yeah.
Love you. And then it's like, I don't know what time it was, probably like 1 a.m. And I was
Yeah.
like, I want to go home. I wasn't as drunk as everyone. I was having a good time for sure, but I was like, I'm hungry. I'm tired. I just want to like go back to the Airbnb.
Yeah.
So his mom was also like, I want to go back too. Like, we'll go back together. And I'm like, okay, bet. So we get an Uber and we go back to the Airbnb.
How many people are still left at the club?
All of them.
How many people went with you? Like 15 or like 6? Or...
I would say like 10 to 15.
Okay.
And so his mom and I go back to the Airbnb. We get up to our room, and it's like a digital like code. And I guess they change it every day. So the person who booked it, his cousin, I believe, / aunt, I think it's his cousin, had like the new code.
Okay.
So we're calling them, and they're just like 3 sheets to the wind. Like, they have no idea what
Never heard that.
Never
We have-
heard that.
No, what does that mean?
That's so
they're
unrealistic.
drunk as fuck. So, like, they had no idea what we were talking about.
3 sheets to the wind?
Mm-hmm.
Is it always 3?
Yeah.
Like dryer sheets or like
Do
sheets?
you want me to Urban Dictionary it for you?
I mean, I mean, it's drunk, but like, why? Like they're just flailing
We need the
around,
history.
flapping, flailing, flying.
So they're not listening or giving a fuck, really.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, we don't know. We don't see it in the email, blah, blah, blah. Turns out you had to, like, re-download this app that you had for the Airbnb, and, like, the new code was in there. But they just were no comprehendo. So, like,
Right.
I'm
Classic
so I'm
drunk
texting
people.
Levi, like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Like, we're locked out. They're still at the bar. We need this new code, whatever.
I'm here in Nashville with your family. I'm at the Airbnb with your mom, and
Her-
we're locked
his mom
out.
was sleeping in the hallway outside of our door. Like, she was like, I'm over this, like, blah, blah, blah. So, Levi tells me we're coming home, and I'm like, thank God.
Oh, Bobby.
He texts me, like, 10 minutes later and says, all right, I'm on my way. And I'm like, can you just ask them what the code is? Like, I don't understand.
And no one's.
He
picking up what you're
says,
putting down.
oh, I'm alone. I'm not with them.
Oh.
And I said, where did they go? Like,
Where did
what?
you go?
And apparently they just lost each other, and he was like, in his drunk mind, like, I need to get back and save Bobby. Meanwhile, there was nothing he could do.
He has not the
He
code.
has not the code. So then I go downstairs, because you have to use a code to get into, like, the lobby itself. So I'm, like, waiting outside, because I thought, like, he's going to get an Uber, he'll be back soon, or they'll be back soon, we don't know. I'm waiting for a little while. It's like an hour plus process of like getting them to leave. His 2 cousins show up, and they're just like, la, 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 like,
Did
oh my
they
God,
have
I'm
the fucking
so
code?
sorry. Yeah, they did.
Oh.
And that's who was supposed to have it the whole time, and we like,
Knew that and kept saying that, and they weren't picking up what you were putting down.
correct.
So, but when they got there, you were able to enter the room.
Yes, but
Okay.
I was still downstairs because I was waiting for Levi to get back, because I was like, he took an Uber separately,
And he's on his way.
and he's on his way.
Yeah.
I'm waiting out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
You never went to the room?
I went to the room once to change into pajamas and to pee.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why did you guys all leave each other? What's going on? His phone died. So the last location I had of him was still, like, at the bar. And I'm like, great. So then, like, time goes by. I know he didn't get an Uber because he would have already been back.
Right.
There is a whole scene going on in the lobby with some people we didn't know. There's like 8 cops there. Some ladies giving a statement. Like, so there's cops coming in and out. I'm just standing outside, like, waiting. And I don't know the whole timeline. It was definitely over an hour.
You waited outside? Like, not even in the lobby? Like, you were, like, outdoors.
Because in the lobby was all the cops
The
in the scene. I
cops.
was like, I'm not going to sit in there.
Oh, my gosh, this is insane.
So I'm just waiting outside, and then eventually I see him coming around, and he's just like distraught. Like, his phone died, he couldn't get an Uber. They wouldn't let him back into the bar where his whole family was. Although they let me back in just to the karaoke part, so he was just drunk. And he just like was walking Nashville, like lost. He said that he like was in this park or something, and like just crazy, and he's like distraught. But I'm like pissed because I wanted to go to bed 3 hours ago.
Yeah, you
So,
left
like,
early.
Yeah, so I got him in, and I just like went straight to bed, didn't say a word. Him and his cousin are sitting in the kitchen so loud, just like LOLing about the whole night. He's like, oh my God, it was so scary, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like pissed. Like, I'm just like, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm glad he was okay. And I
sure.
felt bad for him that he like had to do all that. But I was
Yeah.
like pissed because I was like, I'm on vacation with your family. I got locked out for hours. You didn't show me any type of concern when you got home. You were just being loud with your cousin who forgot the code.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, I was so mad.
I would have actually died.
I
Like,
was sitting there that
There's
night,
no
like,
way.
I can't do this. Like, that
me
is
too,
so...
especially since I, like, don't drink. If I was with someone else's family in Nashville and everyone was just fucking hammered and then that happened to me, I would have, like, driven home. I literally gotten a flight home.
No, I literally was like, I'm leaving them. Like,
I
it's over.
would have
You're gonna call
literally...
Yeah, but I thought about that literally. I was like, who do I know that I could call?
Yeah,
So then the
got
next morning,
fuck
he
outta
felt really
there.
bad, and
I'm
I was
sure.
like...
I mean, he obviously didn't mean to do what he did.
He was
It
trying to do
just,
the
like,
right thing. Like, I want to get home to Bobby, and then he just,
Yeah.
like, walked.
I mean, he was just hammered and careless, but, like, I guess that's what happens when you're in Nashville with your family. I would get hammered, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't, like, mean to leave them or not be able to get back in the bar, and he didn't mean to have his phone die, and he didn't mean to get lost. So
Exactly. So, like...
It's just... I wouldn't be mad at him. I would just be, like...
I was mad at him that night, but then the next
fuming
day I was
internally
just like...
about the whole
Let's just move
situation.
on. So that was my story.
Yeah, I can't express enough how much I would hate that.
Yeah, I hated it a lot.
That's terrible.
But overall, it was a
Seems
fun
like
trip.
It was a
so.
great trip, though. I think we're gonna end with Hannah's story, so I'm gonna tell mine really quickly. Last Wednesday, Mackenzie's tire like blows the fuck out. In a way, like if you see the picture, it looks like it was slashed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying somebody slashed it, but I'm saying it looks like they did. So she doesn't have a car and she has to go pick up this cake for our friend's birthday. So I go to pick her up because she doesn't have a car to take her to get this cake. She comes down. I'm on the phone making a doctor's appointment for the next day. I hang up the phone. We sit in the car for a little bit because we're like a little early. Imagine that. And my car starts... I'm in park. I'm not even driving, but it's on. It starts freaking the fuck out. It starts shaking, sputtering. It smells like oil is burning. I'm getting all these crazy lights on my dashboard. Like, it's insane. So I turn my car off really fast, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what do we think that was? We can't figure it out. I go to turn it back on. It won't start. Like, it's just the engine. Like, it won't turn over. And I'm like, what? I try to start it again. It does the same thing where it's like shaking, whatever. So I'm like, great, my car's broken. So good. So I schedule it to be towed to a dealership through triple fucking A. Count your days, bitch. No, bitch. I call them at 5 p.m. on Thursday, okay? 5 p.m. Thursday. Give him a little ring. This woman's a fucking bitch, by the way. Oh no, I already got sick.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And like, I hang up, and even Mackenzie is like, that woman was so unpleasant. And I was like, okay, right. Like, she was so mean. And so I call them. My window is from 5 to 6:46 on the dot. I remember it vividly. I told you guys at Cloud 9. We go to Cloud 9. We have a little dinner. They're still not there. I stay at Mackenzie's till like 8 p.m. They're still not there. I call them at 8 p.m. and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, oh, they're just a little backed up in that area. I'm like, okay. They never come. At, I think, midnight or 1 a.m., they call me and say, we're here, but our truck can't get in there. Well, they told me they couldn't get up the hill. I don't even know what that means. And they're like, so we're going to have to send out another truck. And at this point, it's going to be tomorrow morning. I'm like, right, okay. So they tell me the type of truck that they brought out there doesn't work. So they have to send out a different type of truck. And they open at 7:30 and I'll be one of the first dispatches. Okay. I set my alarm for 7:30, which pissed me off to no fucking end because I work at 9 a.m. Why am I waking up at 7:30 when you were supposed to pick my car up at 6 yesterday? But okay, I set my alarm, turn my phone on loud, wait for a phone call. No one calls me at any point. My car does not get picked up. Mind you, it's at Mackenzie's house, so Mackenzie is like telling me like, nope, yeah, your car's still here. Don't know what's going on. At 9 a.m., I call again. They don't even have a service order for me. They don't have any ticket open for me. They're not
Right.
sending anyone to my car.
Uh-huh.
So I call them. I set up a new dispatch. They send someone out. At noon, they call me and they tell me that they have sent out the same type of truck that they sent out the night before that can't get the car.
Right.
So they've now sent 2 incorrect trucks that cannot pick up my car, and my car is not picked up. And I'm like, okay. So then I call them again. I set up a new dispatch, and I call again, and I'm like, I just want to make sure that you guys know what type of truck went out Thursday, and that the truck that you're sending out right now is a different truck. Like, do not send the same truck out 3 times, because I'm waiting like 5-hour-long windows. And at this point, it's been 24 hours since my car was supposed to get towed. It's supposed to have already been looked at by a shop. Like, I don't have a car. Like, what the fuck? So they finally get someone to fucking tow my car. And it is literally 5 p.m. the next day. Like, it is a full 24 hours after my first scheduled tow. They get it somewhere. The shop calls me 2 days ago. I haven't even told you this part yet. And tells me nothing's wrong with the car. We can't make it do anything that you said it was doing. No lights are coming on. There are no error messages. Everything's good. And at one point he said, and your oil's full. I said, do you have the right car? Because like that can't even be my car. My car had no oil in it. Like it was burnt. He was like, yeah, no, like, I don't know. And then he calls me yesterday, tells me the same thing. And he's like, and I'm like, well, I like am so hesitant to pick up this car because like if what happened while I was in park happened while I was driving on the highway, like I would be in a very dangerous situation. So
Right.
like I'm not really too excited to like come pick up my car and just try to drive it around. Like I'm scared.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I'm freaked the fuck out. That's my car story. That's what's been going on. And when I had my mental breakdown the other day, I was on a work call for 3.5 hours. It was extremely stressful. And the guy called me in the middle of that call that I was already telling you guys I was going to fucking kill myself over. Right. And then he called me and told me, like, it's all good. We can't get anything to happen. And I was just like, cool, I'm going to lose it. And I sobbed. And it actually felt great. I haven't cried in years about anything real. So that felt nice. Yeah.
Yay.
Love that.
Okay, well, Hannah's going to tell her story, so we need to reset up. So hold on.
Aaron's gonna have a full-on meltdown when you tell
No,
us.
it's good. I'm in a good spot now.
So now we have Hannah here to tell her story. This is actually our first guest.
Yeah.
So if this goes well, like in editing for me with audio and visual, then we'll be able to have guests.
I've always just been on the sidelines talking,
in the
so
audience.
honored.
If you guys remember last episode, we called Hannah because she was supposed to come. Because she texted us at 5 a.m. and said she had the craziest story. And then she went and watched like fucking football or something instead of coming. So now
Yeah, that
she's
was
here
lame.
to tell that crazy story that you guys have been waiting weeks for, that we've also been waiting weeks for.
I'm ready to tell my truth.
Yeah, tell it, girl.
Anyway, it's not really my truth. It's just fucking insane. Because girls are crazier than men half the time, and I'm going to stand by that.
I'm not.
Well, wait until you hear this.
Okay.
Okay. So, there's this guy. We have a weird history, okay? As you guys know. Him and his girlfriend break up, whatever, a couple weeks later.
And what is that history, Hannah?
We're not going there. Him and his girlfriend break up, whatever, okay? A couple weeks later, I go over there. And when I tell you I stayed at his house 6 nights straight, I'm not lying. 6 nights straight, I stayed at this man's house. He sucks.
Boo.
Okay.
Whose fault is that? Okay.
The 7th day,
Not the 7th day.
I did not stay
You
there. I
rested?
was like, hey, I'm like gonna stay at home. But on the 7th day, I rested.
Yeah.
The next morning, I get a follow from this girl on Instagram.
Oh.
Oh no.
And I go,
You get a hey girly?
no.
Oh, you get a follow, you said?
I got a follow. I'm private on Instagram.
Oh, that's right.
Ever since I
famously.
Yeah, famously. So I'm get this follow, and I look at her, and I'm like, oh, I know who this is, because I know that he used to hook up with her. And I go to her page. She has 0 pictures, but 3,000 followers. She's not private. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Click on her story that she posted 2 minutes. 2 minutes after she followed me, of her in his bed. And I said,
Like a different girl, not his ex?
No, not his ex.
Okay.
Different girl. And in my head, I'm like, one, how the fuck do you know who I am? And two, like, what's wrong with you? And so then I call him.
I'm in utter shock. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I call him, and I'm like, hey, this girl just followed me. Like, I know who she is. What's up? Like, I don't really care that you're hooking up with other people, but I was very clear with you. Do not lie to me about what's going on. Mm-hmm. So I call him, and he's like, oh my God, that's so weird. I don't know why she would post that. I promise I didn't lie to you, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, you did lie to me, but, like, it is what it is, basically.
You thought the cheater wasn't going to lie to you.
No. Not that. It was that
Just saying.
I told him, and that's part of the reason that I'm like, I'm fucking done. I'm on the phone with him.
The same time. Or son of a bitch.
We're on the phone, and he goes, oh my God, I have to go. There's a 10 top walking in here. And in my head, I'm like, at a bar in the Banks at 11:30 in the morning. And I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, then I get back on Instagram like 2 hours later. And I was just like, saw she posted. I never followed her back, but I saw she posted another story. So I was like, let me just look.
Yeah, let me just see.
And it's her sitting at the bar with his back in it. Like, she literally put it on her and then faced it to him. And I was like,
why is she, like, proud of this?
She's so bold.
so she's fucking 22 and he's almost 37.
Oh my God.
Girl, what?
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I kind of like let it go, whatever.
You let that go? No, go ahead.
No,
Go
like
ahead.
let it go in the sense where like I was like, I'm just like not going to deal with this bullshit. Like I'm just going to count myself out, basically. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then I go down to the Banks on that Friday. And I go back down to the Banks. No, I go back to the Banks on Saturday. Sorry, this was the day before.
She's at the bank so much, she doesn't even know.
And it is what it is. And I go into the bar. First of all, I look good as hell. It's when I was in that like black bra and yellow blazer. Then I like go into the bar and she's just standing there at the end. When I tell you I've never seen anybody stare at me so intensely in my life. It's just fucking eyeing me down. Then I'm like, okay, fuck this. We're leaving. We're gonna go to Killer Queen. So we go next door. Somehow she made it over there before we did. I don't really know.
Whoa.
And she's with her friends. And she is just sitting there talking to all the bartenders, just such shit about me when we never even said hi to each other.
You don't know her.
Just
really,
like
yeah.
intense stories that they kick her out and ban her from the bar. Because everybody there is friends with me. She got banned from Stretch in the same night. The literal same night now. She goes into 10, whatever, having all these problems. She also gets banned from there too for literally running my name into the ground and acting like a fucking psycho. And I'm like, you don't even know me.
This is crazy.
It's literally the most
How did
insane.
she even find out about you?
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. And I can't figure it out. And honestly, at this point, I'm like, whatever. But I've never dealt with
also, like, so
a girl
embarrassing
so
to be, like, running around town bashing this girl while posting photos of this man. Like,
I could
Yeah.
never.
that's so embarrassing.
Like, literally. And
like
I ended up blocking her because I was like,
I'm just like, he's obviously told her something because, like, what do you think is going on? Like,
Right.
why would you hate me over this when this guy's just dating us both?
and so he, like, apologizes to me. He's like, I'm so sorry. To be fair, I have not hooked up with him since those 6 days I stayed there.
Period.
And I was like, okay. Well, then last week, I've been going through a lot with my family, as you know. Mental, just, like, not there.
Minty B.
Bad, so bad. Mm-hmm. And I drunkenly told him I was in love with him. So stupid. Why did I do that? Like, sure, but, like, why did I do that? Since then, I've, like, pretty much just, like, completely avoided him. Like, I'll be in bars, and he'll, like, come and sit next to me, and I'll, like, run away. And I'm literally like, please leave me alone. But the crazy part of the story was that girl being fucking psycho. And I'm literally like, I don't have any idea who you are.
Well, she's 22, so.
But even then, like, girl.
Yeah, I need to know, like, how she knew about you.
That, like, it's so confusing. Like, that's just, like.
And
Was
I
she
low-key-
the girl that,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
that's why they broke up?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's that one.
Stop. This girl is the reason that he
Yes.
broke up with his ex.
Correct.
Well, she
Well,
broke up with him
that.
because she caught him cheating with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
The 22-year-old. It's always a 22-year-old.
So, moral of the story is we're going to stop talking to the 37-year-old.
36, almost 37, but yeah.
Yeah, girl, that didn't make it any better. Yikes.
Big yikes. And it's literally...
Well, I guess you'll never see her again because she can't go to any of the bars that you go to.
Yeah, I don't know
True.
how banned she is, or if she's really gonna listen to it, or if she's just like embarrassed right now, and if she's gonna come back or whatever. But I swear to God, if she ever talks to me, I'm gonna be like, please, like, leave me alone.
Yeah, I think you should.
Also, imagine being
have that same
36
energy
and
for
hooking
him.
up with a 22-year-old.
How embarrassing!
Imagine cheating on your girlfriend with a
she
22-year-old
literally sucked
and a
his dick in the fishbowl's
27-year-old.
bathroom. Can you imagine?
Yes, I
Ew.
can. If I was 22 and dating someone who worked there, I would absolutely suck their
But he
dick in the
doesn't work at
bathroom.
fishbowl.
Oh. No, I can still imagine though. I
Like,
think sucking dick in the bathroom should be normalized.
Okay.
period. You know what? Maybe I'll get on board.
Sorry for being a slut. I don't
New
know what
girl
to
for the
tell
year.
you.
Slut.
Are you guys slut shaming me on my own podcast?
God,
Right now?
I
No,
wish I
because
was
let's be
more
so
of a slut.
real.
Then
I'm a
you should
slut.
suck dick in the bathroom.
If you're listening,
So maybe more to come eventually, because I feel like this girl's gonna pop the fuck back up.
Maybe not more to come ever again.
I just like.
I feel like if you stop talking to this guy, then like, what's this girl gonna say or do?
right.
What's she gonna care? Hopefully, she stops talking to this guy too.
she won't.
This sounds really awful.
Yeah,
He
I'm
sounds
done.
really awful. If you're listening,
awful.
He is
stop
awful.
listening.
Oh,
If you cheat on
and
people,
then
you can die.
wait, there's more.
Die.
How?
So then that Sunday where I was supposed to come, couldn't come, whatever. Here for the podcast. okay?
Yeah. Football.
We all go out. We're watching football. He shows up. Whatever. We're all like in the same friend group. So like that is what it is. And then we're sitting next to each other because I had not cut it off with him at that point yet. This was like a couple of days before I told him. I was like, hey, I love you. Like whatever. Can't do this anymore. Like, you know, how embarrassing for me. I never tell people how I feel. Anyway.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing.
We live and we learn.
We
But
live
when
and
you
we
told me
learn.
that, I was like,
But
Okay.
are we learning or are we just living?
oh.
We're living with a little bit of learning, and I'm trying to do better on the learning.
Perfect.
that.
Thanks. This girl, he's always sleeping.
He's been
Sleeping
making
Tyler.
some facial expressions and comments.
He needed a nappy.
He gave us a nod.
He
at-
didn't
need a
call.
nappy.
He didn't. This girl comes in that I saw at Tinder's the night before.
God.
She's 43. Anyway, probably more in his age range, to be fair. She's so nice to me. She's literally like, you are probably the prettiest person I've ever seen. Oh my God. Like, she's so beautiful. What the fuck? It's like, I know. Like, whatever being... Damn, I keep saying his name. Can you bleep those? Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. He goes to the bathroom. This girl goes, I am so glad that he has a best friend like you. And I go, mm-hmm. And she goes, yeah, he was telling me that you're like the best friend he's ever had, and like just like crazy stuff, like that you're always there for him, and that's so great. It's so hard to find like guy and girl best friends that like work like that. Like, you guys are very lucky that that works for you.
Girl, what?
And I just stare at her and I go,
He's insane.
we leave, we go to Covington. They leave together, and I'm like, literally like, fuck this, like whatever, like I'm not fucking dealing with this, like I'm not putting myself through this anymore. They show back up to the bar that we're at in Covington. He shows back up when I tell you, like fucking cat scratches across his neck. And I go, and he comes up to me, just so happy to see me while she's there. And I'm like, what's up? Like, what do you need? And he's like, why are you mad at me? I was like, stop telling girls that I'm your best friend. Like, but I have not talked to him since then.
What was
Good.
the scratches?
From her.
They were like,
Sex scratches.
The 40-year-old?
Yes, because she had fucking claws on her hand.
but he's like 40.
I know, but I'm just clarifying.
She also was telling me that she had a 22-year-old and a 24-year-old, like, children. And she's like, oh, you would love them. And I was like,
Sorry.
please.
I will die right now.
Please.
Okay, so you're telling me that he's also fucking this other girl.
Oh,
And this
is
girl
the other
is
thing,
so
too.
happy that he has a friend like you.
This is the other thing, too. I said, how did you guys meet? And she goes, like, how long have you guys known each other? And she was like, oh, I met him at Tin Roof last night. And I go, while I was standing next to you at the bar.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Did he mean to say that? That's mine.
Did
Yeah.
he mean to
Did
do
he mean
any
to
of
do
this?
any of it?
It seems like he did. He seems like a bad person. So
Oh,
yeah.
no. And he even told me, he was like, I'm a terrible person. Nobody should talk to me. And I literally looked at him. I said, you are.
Right.
No one should talk to you.
No one should.
Yeah. Well, that was our crazy stories / Grammys episode, and sorry it's coming to you late. And we will see you in the next one. We love you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
I love you, Levi. Sorry.
Love you, Levi.
Bye.
Guys, no offense. I don't give a fuck that Keith Urban died.
It wasn't Keith Urban. It was Toby Keith. Please keep this in. The microphone is still recording. Put it at the end, like, behind the scenes.
I don't either, but like rip or whatever.
No.
Someone I followed did actually tweet rest in piss. Rest in patriotic piss.
Oh my god. He said I don't give a fuck that Keith Urban died. It was Toby Keith.
Is it because he went skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing?
That's Tim McGraw.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
What?